Good morning, evening, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome. So, in the pursuit of trying to figure out what the crap's going on, I decided to try to do the DIY Boost controller. I built it with what I had. There are significantly better ways to build it, and there's better videos, I'm gonna be honest. But if you want to see how I did it, there you go. Okay. So to do the Boost controller, this is what you need, right? So you need the T right here, and one of these, which these are all quarter. You need one of these, which I already cut this and drilled this, which I'll explain once we get to that part. This is a nylon elbow, and this is quarter. You need two of these fittings. You need a male and a female. You need a spring. This one's already cut down. This was the original one. The spring that I bought, voice crack. The spring that I bought is this one right here. It's from Home Depot. These are the nylon fittings I bought, which are not nylon fittings. These are also from Home Depot. They can be quarter or 3/16, just depending on your vacuum line size. It doesn't really matter. And then you need a ball bearing, which again, Home Depot, and it is a 1/4 inch ball bearing. Right there, that little guy. Now, I'm using a 10 mil hex head, which is your standard 10 mil, which is an M6 by 1.0, to screw into here. Which, let me go ahead and cut to me drilling the T out and doing all this now. All right, so basically, you have, this is the T, and you're going to want to drill a relief hole on one of these two flat spots, just so that way the pressure can get back out. And then this is the elbow fitting. You're going to cut it off here, like you're going to cut the elbow piece off, and then drill the hole bigger to fit whatever size bolt you're putting in as the adjustment screw. Now for the relief hole, this is just a general drill bits kit. I've seen where some people have said 1 millimeter, don't really go over 1 millimeter. This is a, camera might be able to get it, I don't know. It's a 1/16. So it's what you're going to find in a normal drill bit set. I can't imagine, because this is more of 1.5 mils, I can't imagine it's going to be a problem. So I'm going to use 1/16 and drill the relief hole in about this area here, like right in here. And then I'm going to be using, because I'm going to be using an M6 bolt, which is your standard Honda 10 mil, you're going to be, if you decide to go that route, you need that's not it. What is that? You need a 13/64. That's the drill bit for drilling an M6 hole, which is for a 10 mil. And I'll show you. Give me 1 sec. So these are riv nuts. And if you look, when you put the drill bit in, it hits the threads, right? That kind of I know this is kind of a weird way to look at it, but it tells you that it's just big enough for the hole for the threads catch, which is what you want. And this is for an M6, which is what I'm going to be using, which is your standard Honda 10 mil. You know, something kind of like, I'm not using this bolt, but your typical like fender washers and stuff, they're all M6 by 100. That's a Honda bolt. So let me go ahead and lop this off using a hacksaw, drill the hole bigger, drill the relief hole, and then we're going to be back inside the house. So you have the relief hole right here. Now what the relief hole is going to do is, as pressure comes in here and pushes the ball bearing up and sends boost to the wastegate, when you lower, like when you slow back down and the boost lowers, there's still going to be pressure on this side. This allows it to leave and allows it to shut. So then that way it closes back up, and you're not just, you don't have this weird vacuum issue where it's still holding your wastegate. That way it relieves the pressure. So you're just going to thread one fitting on the bottom here like this, and take your ball bearing. Now you can take a screwdriver, a Phillips. I already did it, but you can take a Phillips and just kind of shove down in there and ream it a little bit. It'll help around and bevel that hole out the bottom, so the ball bearing will stay. A good way to check is, well, to put the ball bearing in, go ahead and thread it in like so. And then take the spring that you're going to use, or a spring like what you're going to use, put down in there, and then try to suck air through here and see if it seals it. It should, but you know, always check. Now the spring, you just need to cut it so that way it'll set kind of flush in here. So this one's not cut yet. Now this spring is, when you buy it, it'll be more compact like this, right? The only way you can fix this just by grabbing the spring, pulling it apart, it'll expand. And then you just trim it so that way it sets flush. So this one, it'll be probably, we'll say, like right in here. There we go. Now, I did have an issue where the bolt I'm using, which is an M6, wants to thread into the spring. I'm worried that I'll have to go up to an M8, which is your typical like 12 millimeter Honda bolt, which I may increase to that. So if you want to do that, I would honestly recommend going up to an M6 or an M8 rather than the M6, which is your standard 10 mil. I wanted to use standard 10 mil just so that way it's kind of an easy, you know, it's a size that is very common. You guys are just along for the ride at this point. So what you want. All right, so now, all right, so it's super late. It's like 6 o'clock, but I don't really want to do this testing in the dark, just in case. So I'm going to pick back up tomorrow and we'll continue. Hey, so it's days later, like days, like a week probably. The weather got really sucky here, so I didn't drive it. It's just been setting. We're right here now. I fixed the manual controller a little bit, redid it, used a bigger bolt. I used what would be considered a 12 millimeter, like a Honda 12. When you like, it's 12 millimeter bolt. That's a M8 by 1.25. And a Honda 10 mil is an M6 by 1.0. So went with a bigger bolt. Also adjusted the fittings just a little bit and tightened them up. That's really all I did. So now we're gonna see if anything's been fixed. I haven't driven the car since putting the controller on because again, it's been raining and crappy here, but it's a really nice day today. So now we're gonna see if it fixed anything at all. Okay, so that was definitely the problem. The problem was 100% the wastegate opening too soon. Because let me tell you right now, I don't know what it's set at. I don't know. I almost feel like it's just restricting flow a little bit. I saw my boost gauge hit like 7 pounds. That was definitely the problem. This thing it feels like a whole different car now. I mean, before when the wastegate was opening early, it would not light them up during that pull. The same pull, like I said, I do the same pull Wouldn't light them up. Now, lights them up. Third, lights them up, which is pretty crazy. So, yeah. I think I'm going to say that this is the problem. So I'm gonna get a real one now, right? I'm gonna get a legitimate manual boost controller, because I don't want to keep this. Obviously, it looks janky. This was just kind of temporary to see if this is what was wrong, and it is. So now I'm gonna get a nicer looking one, get some better hoses, and redo that, and then that'll be the solution. Then we're gonna play the game of getting it tuned, like getting the boost pressure tuned. Well, tuned in, I guess. So if you don't know how to do that with a manual boost controller, you essentially set it at the lowest point and then run the car and then slowly work your way up. And then you'll get it where you want it. That's what I'm going to do now. I'll probably wait till after Christmas to actually get the different boost controller and get it hooked up and everything like that. I've got other parts coming. I've got other things going. Now I got boost again, and we're pretty positive that I never really got to drive the car post dyno because I kept having problems with the wastegate. It's quick now. So, yeah, we're gonna just kind of mess with it for a little bit, and then I'm calling it. That was the problem. 100% was the problem with whatever was going on. My gauge works now. I'm showing boost. All of it was linked back to the wastegate opening too soon. And when the wastegate opens too soon, it doesn't spin the turbine on the hot side and make boost. So I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it the end of this weird little Boost Chronicles story that I've been having. It's a good day. It's a good Saturday. So thank you guys for tagging along. This video was kind of long. So I was originally gonna make it 2 parts, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that. 1 part is enough. So I'm gonna end it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate the love that I get in the comments and just people DMing me, or just it's great. I love it so much. It means the world because of how it's the feeling of kind of other people appreciating what you've done, because this has been a long road and there's more coming. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And I don't know if I'm going to have another video out before Christmas, just because of the holiday season. It's getting cold. I still got to work on insulating this place. So if I don't have another video out pre-Christmas, have a wonderful holiday season. And I hope you get whatever you're asking for. See you guys.